My wife baby trapped me. I put baby trap in quotation marks because I'm not sure what she did is the actual definition of baby trap. She didn't have a kid to make me stay, just against my will. So my wife and I have been together for 8 years. We have a little girl and a baby boy. I love both of them more than anything, and I finally feel like I have everything. A beautiful wife, 2 healthy kids, a great career, and a big house. The token American dream, minus the dog, makes me allergic. When we talked about kids before, my wife always said she wanted 2. I've only wanted 1. It would be easier and we'd have more money for vacations and stuff, but my wife maintained that it's important for a child to have a sibling. I grew up with 4 and my wife with none, so I guess I understand where she's coming from. After having our son and getting through the baby years and sleepless nights for the second time, I didn't want to ever go through that again. Both kids were very fussy and colicky, but when he was a year old, my wife began casually mentioning a third. I would laugh it off, but finally she sat me down and said we had to have a third. I said no, we agreed on 2, but she said she wanted 4. And 3 is the compromise. I refused and said I wanted 1, and we have 2. She got angry and called me selfish for taking away her dream of wanting a big family. A couple days later, she apologized, and we had sex. I noticed her drive increased exponentially, but so did mine, and I was happy to engage her. She was on birth control, I had a condom, and it was all good. Thinking back on it, I probably should have figured something was up, but I was barely handling 2 little kids and work on top of housework and yard work and everything. I came home from work one day while the kids were at their grandparents'. My wife had a huge smile on her face, and she sat me down and showed me a positive pregnancy test, literally dancing in joy. My first thought was, OSHD. My wife noticed a less than happy expression on my face and started screaming at me. She berated me for not being supportive, and this was a miracle from God for which I should be grateful. I said I was sorry, hugged her, and said I was super excited for the baby. My wife was delighted, and later that night she was calling all her family and friends to happily tell them the news. When she was talking about the nursery and how we'd convert my office into a room, I started to get a little suspicious. Everything was so well thought out, and it seemed like she'd been planning this for a while. When she was asleep, I took the condoms out of the cupboard and ran them under water hose. I nabbed her phone and saw she'd set a password. That was odd. Nevertheless, my wife has a terrible memory, so I tried her birthday, and it opened. Further up were texts with her best friend, my wife, complaining how I wouldn't come around. Her best friend suggested she arrange an accident with a winky face. My wife agreed and said she was going to come off of birth control. It went on for a little while, ending with my wife saying that yes, we were going to have a third. So I woke her up immediately and asked her if this had really been a miracle. She got that deer-in-headlights look and burst into tears. She wailed, and then she got angry. Through tears, she screamed that I had no right to go through her phone, and it's her choice whether or not she wants to take BC. The side effects are bad. And she was sick. She also brought up that if I really didn't want a third kid, I should have had a vasectomy. She told me to go sleep on the couch. I laughed out loud and said, "No, I'm sleeping here, you're leaving." So while wailing, she packed a bag and left it to her parents. When she called the next day, I told her I just needed some time to myself. She said that's fine, but I need to come around for our child. I told her I wasn't sure if it'd be our child, and she cried more. It's been 2 weeks since then. Governments recommended staying at home, and I knew staying home by myself while also working with 2 kids would not be ideal, and she wanted to see our kids. So we're in the same house, and she constantly keeps on stopping me and trying to get me excited for our kid and planning the nursery and names and how happy our kids will be to get a younger sibling. I've been ignoring her entirely. What do I do? Staying home with her is bad enough, and I don't know if I should leave her over this. I don't trust her anymore. She entirely betrayed it. I'm angry, but I have another child on the way. Update. Hey guys. The other post got way more attention than I expected, so I figured you guys probably deserved an update. To start, yes, I get it, I know how it looks. There's a lot of comments calling it bullshit. Pink Pill Feminism called it MRA fiction. It's perfectly balanced. And so on. Yeah, I know, my life feels like a joke right now. Honestly, there's little point in me trying to defend it because, first of all, if you don't reply to comments saying it's wrong, you're intentionally ignoring them because they're right. And if you do, you're trying way too hard to patch up the holes. It doesn't really matter what I say. You guys won't believe me. And at this point, it doesn't even matter because I'm looking for advice. I don't care if you think it's true. So, let's start from the beginning. The wife is still at home. I'm going out of my mind. Kids don't understand what's happening and keep on asking why I won't talk to mommy. Blah, blah, blah. It's been close to a month since then, and I've been following the advice I saw. I lied and said I was going for a drive. She tried to come along, But it's a 2-person limit per car, and who's looking after the kids then? I called my dad's best friend, she's a lawyer, and I told her everything. I screenshotted the texts and sent them to myself, and at night I asked her to talk and pressed my phone on record. I asked her why she did it, and she went on about completing our family and how we need a 3rd kid. And she knows I'll love them more than anything when they're born. She apologized profusely as well and told me she knew she hadn't gone about it the right way and she should have accepted it. I'm within my rights to do what I want. But please stay for the kid, and now that it's on the way, we can take it positively. Anyway, that brings us to today. I'm back on civil terms with my wife, and I've started acting like everything's okay between us. She's happy. The kids are happy and excited for their new sibling. Everything's going great except for the divorce being planned. I've got the evidence, and I've got the lawyer, and I'm preparing to present her with papers. I've talked to my lawyer about how it's going to go because of quarantine and where technology is being used. Online documents and video conferencing. This is called ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. So that's pretty much it. I've got all my ducks in a row. My wife doesn't know anything. I think I'm doing fine. But I have a lot of doubts. Every day when we go to bed, she kisses me, and when she thinks I'm asleep, she always whispers about how she loves me. Waking up next to her is sad because I know time is running out. She always makes me breakfast in the morning. She hugs me all throughout the day. She's happy and close with me and thinks all our problems are solved, and I feel so guilty about what I'm doing. It just feels like everything's going so smoothly. The kids are enjoying quarantine. We're all doing stuff together as a family, and I'm just about to drop a nuclear bomb on all this. I kind of hate that everything's going so well and how happy everyone is. I just want to make everything that goes ahead comfortable for my kids and for my wife. Any advice on how? Thank you for watching the video.